friends. I am going to read you a nonfiction book today, and I want you to think about how nonfiction authors write facts about a topic. So as we read this book, I want you to think about what is the topic of this book, and what are some of the different facts that the author teaches us about this topic. This book is Your Fantastic Elastic Brain. The author is Joanne Deek. The illustrator is Sarah Ackerley. And this book, like many information books, has a lot of different parts on a lot of the pages. So there's sort of the main part of the writing, and then the author will add little details in speech bubbles, we'll add little details in sidebars, and because this is a long book, I'm going to read you the main words of the book. But you might notice that there are some extra words that I'm not reading. Your Fantastic Elastic Brain. And here's a little subtitle: Stretch It, Shape It. What does your brain really do? Does it fill the space between your ears? Well, yes, but your brain can do so much more. Your brain helps you think and remember and name what you see and what you hear. It lets you move your body and feel both touch and emotions. Your brain does all the things that make you, you. So, what is your brain? Is it a muscle? No. The brain is an organ in your body. It's made up of cells and tissue. The brain controls everything you do, everything you think, everything you feel, even everything you dream. The brain has many parts that do all kinds of different jobs. Now here's a diagram showing some of the parts of the brain. So this part here is called the cerebellum. And then there's this part here called the hippocampus. And then there's a part called the prefrontal cortex. There's a little part right here called the amygdala. And this is the cerebellum. And the next couple pages of this book have smaller words talking all about those different parts in more detail. But we're going to skip that for now, or this book is going to get too long for us. When you were born, you were very little. Your brain was small and not so strong. As you get older, your body grows and gets stronger. As part of your body, your brain grows and learns to do new things. Like elastic bands that stretch. When you pull them, even things that are hard at first, or that you don't like to do, or that you don't do very well, get easier when you keep trying. I wanted to show you an elastic band or a rubber band I have right here. It's kind of small right now, right? But it can stretch and get bigger. So it's elastic. We can stretch it and shape it. And the author is saying that you can stretch and shape your brain. Let's find out more. Even when you make a mistake while you're learning something new, you are still training your brain. You will remember that mistake and try something else until you get it right. Making mistakes is one of the best ways your brain learns and grows. If you aren't willing to risk being wrong, You won't take the chances that stretch your elastic brain. You can stretch the part of your brain that controls your feelings, too. If you are frightened about taking a risk, like learning to swim, finding the courage to put your face in the water stretches your amygdala. It will remind you that you overcame your fear, so you will be braver the next time something scares you, like diving into the water. I heard the word amygdala. That was one little part of the brain that controls our feelings, okay? So the author is saying that we can stretch the part of our brain that controls feelings by trying something that's hard or scary. Learning something new causes the brain to grow more connections among the neurons. The neurons are all the little parts of our brain. With more connections, the neurons can send and receive more messages. These connections help to stretch a part of your brain and make it more elastic so that it can hold more information and ideas. How does the brain stretch and grow? A word that begins with neuro has something to do with the brain. Let's say that together. Neuro. That's a word part, and that means it has something to do with the brain. Here's what that word part looks like. Neuro. A sculptor molds, shapes, or carves things out of clay or wood or stone. Here's someone carving a brain out of stone, a brain sculpture. So if you shape your brain, when you make it bigger by adding new things you know and can do, you are a neuro sculptor, a brain sculptor. You're shaping your own brain when you learn. When you learn something new, you're building on what you have already learned. In the same way that the muscles in your body work together when you want to lift a heavy object or kick a ball, the different parts of your brain work together when you're learning something new. These couple of pages kind of sum up what we've learned so far. So they kind of repeat the information that we've already read in this book in a shorter way to remind us about the facts in this book. The brain that makes you, you really is an amazing organ. It controls what you think, do, feel, and remember. Your brain is growing very fast during your first 10 years of life. And now we know that you can help it grow. When you try hard to learn something new, connections grow from neurons and attach to other neurons. Then your brain can send messages faster, making part of your brain bigger and stronger. Making mistakes really helps you learn because your brain keeps trying new things and stretching until you figure out the answer to your problem. You are shaping a more elastic brain when you learn new things that build on what you already know. The more you learn and think about different kinds of things, the more you can learn, know, and enjoy. The harder you try without giving up, the more you will learn. You really can train your brain to be fit and strong and to keep stretching and growing throughout your whole life. I really enjoyed reading this book because it reminded me of you and all the things that you do to help your brain grow. Think about all the things that you do to help your brain stretch and grow all the time. Thank you for reading with me.